Hello there, I'm Shaun McLaren, and I'm back from the Pro Tour in Hawaii, and I'm going to play the deck I played to the Pro Tour, or a similar version of it. I figured I would, instead of just playing what I played, I would try out adding a blue splash, which I didn't do at the Pro Tour, but I'm going to try it out here. It's green-red energy, or red-green energy, depending on which color you like to say first. So the main deck, the core is these energy 2-drops. Long Tusk Cub, Servant of the Conduit are both incredible cards, just in general. Being able to ramp and Long Tusk Cub is so much value in such a small package that gets very big. And Voltaic Brawler is also a good energy enabler and hits very hard some of the time when you need it to. The removal suite, Harnessed Lightning is one of the best removal spells in the format, if not the best, and this deck uses it very well. It can be supercharged to kill basically anything in the format. The mana base is pretty simple. The complicated part is a tune with Aether, which is here to generate energy, obviously. It can be awkward, though. Drawing too many attunes can mean you're going to have to mulligan if you don't have ways to cast them. They can potentially gum up your opening starts, but it's just 2 energy is very good, and it's a very powerful effect for just 1 mana. It's a low opportunity cost. Maybe not a powerful effect, but low opportunity cost. That's what I meant. 2 Smuggler's Copters I was happy with running at the Pro Tour. Not a great Smuggler's Copter deck, but I still think Smuggler's Copter is just powerful enough that you're happy to run it. You have plenty of creatures that can crew it, although your creatures aren't really wanting to crew it that much, but it kind of gives everything you have haste once you have Smuggler's Copter out, and it helps loot and keep your draws flowing. Tireless Tracker is kind of a key core of the deck as well, since it allows for aggression and card advantage, and it fills up the 3-drop slot, which doesn't have a lot going on, as you can see, which is also why I like Lanth New Hellion. Lanth New Hellion is obviously very powerful at first read through, but it's easy to run out of energy if you don't have enough enablers. So I like to keep the count lower a little bit and make sure that my Lanth New Hellions are going to be really good, rather than, say, playing 4-man deck and risking them dying. Since this deck isn't all that aggressive, it's more mid-rangey, value-y, like just slowly gaining incremental advantage. But Lanth New Hellion can be good for killing planeswalkers, can be good for putting pressure on combo and control decks. So having access to it is good. It also fills out the 3-drop slot, which is great. 4 Chandras I'm trying out, mostly because of the emergence of control. Chandra is pretty good, but not amazing. So 4 might be too many, but it is great against control, and it is removal. So it's kind of a nice hedge of your bets. It's a great slot against control, and it can still be removal or take over a game against aggro decks if you have it on turn 2 thanks to Servant, or you can play it and then add mana and then kill something with Harnessed Lightning, Incendiary Flow, or just play Smuggler's Copter and be pretty far ahead. Bristling Hydra is great in that it's basically impossible to kill with conventional removal. You're going to have lots of energy in this deck, and it it's great attacking, it's great blocking, just a very solid effect of getting hexproof is great. One Gear Hulk, just as a curve topper, very powerful card, but we want to keep things low most of the time. Also, Blossoming Defense is a one of, also a very powerful card, but not good when you're curving out and you don't have time to keep the mana up. But the theory is that having one, you won't draw multiples when you don't have creatures and you're looking for creatures, but you'll still be able to get a big effect out of it the times that you do draw it. As for the sideboard, the standard 4 Galvanic Bombardment is great against aggro. Most of the red decks are playing 4 in the sideboard, and I agree with that. Skyship is great for any sort of aggro matchup. Just putting that in as your top end, and then it takes over the game. Root Out is the best artifact and enchantment removal in the format, I think. I mean, it draws a card. It costs 5 mana, but it draws a card, and that's a huge effect, and it's hard removal, whereas some of your other stuff like Incendiary Flow, Chandra is not always hard removal for problem artifacts and enchantments. As for the blue splash, it's easy to splash because you have a tune with the Aether. You can pretty much splash any color you want, but blue is probably the best. You also have Aether Hub and Servant for the splash. Some Ceremonious Rejection crushes Aetherworks Marvel. He's great against Metalwork Colossus decks. Also good against Eldrazi. And yeah, so just a very powerful card. It's also a 1-drop, which is great in the deck for when you're curving out and just want to completely stymie whatever your opponent's doing. Fevered Visions I'm not so sure about. It might be unnecessary completely, but the theory is that Control got first and second at the Pro Tour, so Control might be very popular now, and if it is, I'm assuming Fevered Visions is good against it. I'm not sure about that, so I guess we're going to find out. So let's get to some matches.